Let's jump into the Wiyaala discussion. I have my men seated.
Africa. And this message is going to industry players, especially those who do the blogging, criticizing, and whatever. Please, KMJ or JMJ, I know Asamoah and all your whatever. Yes, whatever doesn't mean I'm being rude, but to everybody. If I don't really count in this industry, or if I don't count, and I have never been counted as part of this industry, then don't discuss me when you are talking about the showbiz or show business in Ghana. You can't always mention my name and turn around, say, oh, shout outs to Wiyaala, but she doesn't really count because she and her manager are just concentrating abroad, doing international stuff. Why wouldn't I concentrate there? Why wouldn't I do that? Why? And then the music industry is dead because Kaki, Ebony, and Miss V all of a sudden are no more doing music. You can always call them back, can't you? Since the rest of us, you think, are not controversial enough, we are not showing skin enough, we are not insulting each other enough, we are not attacking each other enough, so that you can get something to write. And then you can take us to the slaughterhouse, or take me to the slaughterhouse, divide me into pieces, say all kind of manner of things about me or us, so that you can have something to talk about. You think some of us are idiots, eh? We should come and fool because we want to win Artist of the Year. And then, what next? What do we get from that? What do we get? In Ghana, there are no royalties. We don't get... So, some of us might not be the most intelligent, but we do have brains to understand that when you do foolish songs, just because you want to get attention and win some few awards, you're actually fooling yourself. Or when you try to get involved in this kind of industry, that it doesn't really make sense. That's why some people come in, they realize what is going on, then they back off and just keep quiet. But please, when you are talking, try to encourage. Don't try to downplay another artist to make others feel good. And those of you trying to make Wiyaala feels like she hasn't arrived, or I have not arrived, or I will never arrive until I win maybe Artist of the Year, or I win more awards. Please, I am not here to win Artist of the Year because I am not an Artist of the Year kind of musician. I am an artist forever and ever and ever. Even when I'm dead, you will still hear my music in your grave. I don't know your problem, but if I don't really count, stop mentioning my name when you are discussing your showbiz things. Please, keep me out. I'm all about positivity. Please, let those who want to do all that, do that. I respect everybody. The sky is so beautiful and filled up with so many stars, but there are still spaces for us all. Okay? Peace, love, and unity. I beg you, don't do this. It's not the best. When you do this, you are not exposing us. It says something about you because people will read in. Okay? Human beings are more intelligent than you think. And that should include yourselves. So I beg you, keep me out of your showbiz things if I don't really count. Because I don't know why you keep mentioning my name every time you are talking. Oh, shout outs to Wiyaala, but she doesn't really count. Then why mention my name? Just keep my name silent, just like you do to the other musicians that don't really count. Right? Anyway, this is still the Lioness of Africa. I've never done this kind of video, but after 15 years, I think it's time I just say a little bit of my mind. I am not going to be angry about this, but sometimes you have to let your other side come out. But this is not anger, because I still promote peace, love, and unity. So please, don't be saying all those things. It's not nice. It's not good for us.
I know at this stage you might even be confused that, Wiyaala doesn't talk like this often. In fact, we've never heard her angry voice like this before. So what prompted this? What really made her angry? Okay, so there was a discussion on Ghana Web's Bloggers Forum hosted by Abrantepa. Good morning to you, man like Abrantepa, where Arnold, Asamoah Beidu and Nenebi, they were the guests on the show. Obviously, they were talking about female artists and a statement JMJ made on NGO FM some weeks ago that ever since Kaki and Ebony and some artists left the scene, the female artist or the female presence in our music industry is now down and it even looks non-existent. That was the discussion ongoing. And during the discussion, Arnold, Nenebi and Abrantepa, they also said this, and the lioness of Africa is mad and is roaring.
Arnold,
Yes, sir.
the game virtually dead.
I mean, KMJ, well-respected producer.
GMJ. Yeah.
Well-respected producer. I mean, he had his time. He worked with high grade, so he can actually attest to.
I'm still
affiliated with them, so he can actually attest to his proficiency as a music producer and probably as a label head, because he actually headed Extra Large, which signed Kaki. And so we give him all the maximum respect for his contribution to the industry. However, I'm a little disappointed in his comment because it gives me the impression that he's indicting the hard-working females within the system now. And for me, I think that's not the way to go. Considering the fact that over the period we're complaining about the fact that we are not giving these females a lot of mileage and leverage in a male-dominated industry. And so I was expecting him, for somebody who has actually managed a female artist before and seen the struggles, seen the tribulations that they go through in actually wanting to get into that mainstream, should have been more modest in his commentary. And should have spoken to the facts on the ground. Abrantepa, what's the fact on the ground? That you are telling me that in this time, in this duration, this where we find ourselves now, the female scene or the female activity in our music industry is non-existent. That's totally hogwash. And he makes a comparison, very funny comparison, that the likes of Kaki, Miss B, and let's say Eboy, at their time, the female activity was on that high note. That's wrong. Let's even compare that generation of that time to now. Now, I can actually name 4 female artists who are on top of their game at the same time. In his comparison, you see a Kaki stand alone, do her bit, and then Emizi will come take over, and then Ebony will come and take over. Ebony is a special case which I'll get into later. But then, of all these years that we follow music and the Ghanaian music industry especially, how many times can you actually say this particular time we have 4, 5, 6 female artists on that level? Yes, Wendy Shea is a little ahead of everybody else, but listen, Wendy Shea, Adina, Emerson also, Sister Fia, boss, what else should they do? In the last couple of years, in the last year or so, what has been the conversation over around on these female artists? Even if you take these mainstream artists away, in Pakistan, when you are looking for, okay, so who is next to actually take over, you will not find. You understand? You will not find any. But today, you can actually turn around and say, if you take away the likes of Wendy Shea, Adina, Sinaso, Sister Fia, Aaron Baron, you can actually go and say, there's Yaya Jackson somewhere, there's Jackie somewhere, there's Enam Music somewhere. So the scene has been very vibrant. Probably he's confused about COVID, that we are not seeing a lot of performances, and so it's like, what's happening? But to tell me that the level of vibrancy has shut down or is non-existent, and you compare it to what transpired in the Kaki time, that is totally wrong. These girls are trying their best, and they are all over the place. Guess what? When you talked about the funny comparison, I was even thinking you are going to talk about Wiyaala. You know, you talked about the fact that Wiyaala
says apart from with the
I
exception of
didn't want to
Wiyaala.
bring that one because that one was.
And he gave him shout outs.
Yeah.
Let's be fair to ourselves. So I got confused with that shout out, because what is he talking about? Is he talking about your ability to do good music, your international appeal, or the fact that in this Ghanaian music industry in our terrain, who is actually out there? In Ghana, Wiyaala is not out there. Let's be fair.
I was about to say that Wiyaala is not even part of the Ghana music scene.
Yes. And you and I know that for some years, she and her handlers or her management team decided that, listen, we are leaving this space for you people. Our target is that international market. We will get festivals to play and all that stuff. And so I'm confused about JMJ shout outs to Wiyaala. You understand? Because you are shouting out Wiyaala, who is not even paying attention to what's transpiring in our setting. Her focus is out there. And you're also telling us that the scene within our space is down. And then you are shouting out somebody who is focusing on somewhere else. See, so that the correlation is weak. It is very weak. So I'm confused. So what's he saying? Is he saying, he has said, in the international appeal, actually getting there. They will say, big up, Wiyaala is number one. But in Ghana, vibrancy, and you want to indict the likes of Wendy Shea, who have actually struggled in ensuring that the female, fraternity in terms of our music.
Stephen Kirby, let me listen to your common sense next.
I need to be very careful what I say about this particular issue.
Okay.
Because there's a lot to say. I want to put it on record that I think Arnold, on this particular occasion, it didn't seem like he understood the genesis of the Ghana modern female musician and what has become of their industry today. Before Kaki, predominantly on the scene of female artists, we had the likes of Raquel, Becca, and Efia. Very dominant within the industry. There was this solid three. And at that point in time... Should we add Easy too? Easy as well, beg your pardon. Mimi. Mimi alone. So, what GMJ was trying to say, I believe, was, could it be that by now, as we see it, we should have had a different kind of female musician, one that we could have seen a bit more of the ebony types that can single-handedly be independent, have a drive, and have their own corner, which I think the Efias, the Raquels, and the Becca within their time had. They were all very unique in their own way, but a lot of things went into play so far as our industry was concerned. I actually believe, if I look back today, that the industry did not understand how to handle the female musician, especially the modern type. Okay, so what the gatekeepers and the bloggers at the time did was more of interest in chastisation of them being feminine, interest in who they are dating, or say sleeping with, how they are able to make money within the industry. Is it being offered to them by people who want to take advantage of them? What the industry itself saw the women artists, for example, when a female artist would walk to a studio and say, I want to be recorded, would the producer just say, pay this money and I'll do the work for you? Or there was a consistent agenda to take advantage of these vulnerable group of people in our industry? Let me tell you on record today, the person that released the naked photos of Raquel was a female blogger. I put it on record today. A female blogger? A female blogger. Dang. A lot of bloggers were involved with this Raquel agenda. The likes of some of the people who we see prominent today. Some of the people who see themselves as gatekeepers and they want to do right by the industry. Musica was involved. Raquel had a lawyer. Peace FM was at the height of their operations at the time. They were also very heavily involved. Involved in what exactly? In the background negotiation of how to deal with what had happened. Okay. Because at the time, Raquel was one of the biggest female musicians in Ghana. She had an issue of wardrobe malfunctioning which has happened to the likes of the Beyoncés and some of the top international female artists in the world. It happens. Wardrobe malfunctions happen. But she was misunderstood, chastised, all manner of things, forgetting that this young girl had a family, had grandparents who existed at the time, had brothers and sisters. They even created a website to release the pictures. I'm telling you, this is the industry we are dealing with.
A website purposely to release
Raquel's pictures. There was a deliberate attempt to end her career. Raquel had deals from the likes of Diageo. We had calls from South Africa. They told us after going online that they can no longer deal with her. This is the industry we are dealing with. The likes of Abeku Santana, back in those days when we came, would sit on radio and say, Raquel onye ganani. Yempe ubia owo foreign na obaba befa yen shine wo ha adi kra nkofo mo ha no mu so wa utia ma no be den wa ha.
Are you sure about this?
We had the likes of Okweku Mante being in positions to give awards for work that had been done, and they will say her music is not Ghanaian enough. Have you ever thought about the fact why Effia has continually won the Female Artist of the Year after Becca won a few bits? Raquel is not a good singer? Is she not a vocal prowess? When was she going to be given an opportunity for people to realize her work? How much skin did she have to show? What is the talent that we are talking about? What do you expect management to do when we have other record label owners as part of the decision makers of who wins the award? And I'm speaking with Chathouse. We have record label owners who also have competing artists within the competition making decisions on the board. How do you compete as an independent young label? Black Star SR Entertainment has done a lot in this industry. We were not funded by anybody. It was a private, single-handedly funded project. And we had contributed immensely to this industry. I speak today with a lot of passion.
I'm feeling it.
I speak today because the likes of Wiyaala do have the right to speak up. I remember when Wiyaala started, I saw Ishon at the third production of Raquel's Cupid Party, one of the biggest Valentine events ever to be produced in Ghana.
Yeah, I know about that too.
We had made so much strides within this industry, but it was all ignored for the industry politics. And the concentration was on the negativity and to see the destruction of raw, pure talent. It is sad. I have come across female musicians who had been on every single talent show in Ghana, and they died just before I could save them. And I speak about an artist called June. Those who are in the industry know her. June was a very beautiful artist. She had been on the Airtel shows, every single talent show in this country, but she did not get the help she needed. When I met her, she had been raped. She was being threatened with evidence.
Raped by industry people.
By industry people. She could not even tell me. This girl could not even enter the gate of my compound to even let alone sit in my office. I had to meet her in public places throughout our session whilst I was trying to sign this girl.
Because she was scared.
She was scared of something. And when she opened up to me, she had risen to a point where she had bipolar. She was a University Legon graduate who just wanted to do music. Her family lives in Odoko. If they are listening to me today, God bless them. And they couldn't even understand what she was dealing with, the depression and the bipolar. They couldn't understand the medical agenda that was going on. And this poor girl died, 20-something. We are not being truthful to ourselves. You see, where is the Wendy Shays, the Effies? Which stage in this country have they climbed that the Beckers, the Effies, and the Raquel have already not done?
Someone should check his phone.
Why is it that there's not a deliberate agenda to take them international? Why are we not speaking of collaborative efforts for the likes of Wiyaala to take somebody like Wendy Shay to a one concert or festival in the international scene, to introduce, which is what I know the Nigerians know to do very well. We do not have a system to churn out new products. We do not have a deliberate strategy to develop new talent. We do not have a deliberate strategy to appreciate existing talent that will mature and now also begin the process of developing new products. So often when they hit saturation, we say she has died, or he has died, or the career has died. Absolute rubbish. Rubbish. And until we begin, listen, every time you've heard somebody mention Raquel's name, it's to do with what they perceive that she may have had a relationship with her manager. How many times have you heard Arnold or Abeku Santana or the big guys within the industry speak about her vocal proudness, which is exactly what she stood for, which is exactly what we continually try to promote, not her sexuality. No. Rubbish. Question is, where do we go from here?
Creppy is angry.
Where do we go from here as an industry? How do we begin to facilitate the agenda? I said this 2 years ago that Namwan's agenda to deliberately push female artists was one of the best agendas this country could have had. And I was hoping that independent labels that try to develop young talent, and particularly the females, will be supported by a bigger label that would help them to excel. We need collaboration. We don't need division. There's only a small amount of female musicians. How many of them have been awarded? Were we waiting for what's her name? The lady that passed away, Ebony, to win the Artist of the Year before we realized the value of a female artist, before we realized that a female artist can be equally competent and be competitive? We've had the likes of senior artists recording with Raquel. That was on one of their biggest albums. They never called her to perform with her. Have you seen Ochame Kwame perform Wahala with Raquel before? I would arrest my case at this point. I would like to say shout out to Amofa and all the posse at the EC Registration Center at Shepherd's Place in Bawi.
Now you are thinking about what to say next.
Yeah, he has said everything. Personally, managing a female brand, I share in his sentiments. You know, we on the other hand, even as Pressure started to do music, we also
please say fella
started to do music. We also what people said to discourage her and all of that. But if Jennifer Lopez decides to act a movie and release songs, we see it as normal. But with outside of Africa or outside of Ghana, if an actress decides to release a song or entertain their fans, you'll be bashed, you'll be ridiculed, you'll be a lot of stuff. We have been hit with a lot of schemed scandals. You know,
schemed.
Yeah, of
another
course.
creepy favorite word.
Yeah.
Scheme.
You know, what
it is the scheme.
You know, he made a statement that there was
talk to your mic, please.
He made a statement that there was a female blogger that actually released the nude photos. We have been hit by. Actually, it was a sex tape. And everybody believed she was.
It was fella.
Yes,
it was I remember.
I don't want
a lady who was in a doggy style position.
You know, yeah.
And
it was moving all across. And that time we had a pending deal with Casapreco. That time we had signed a deal with Casapreco. That week with Carnival, because FDA rules, they couldn't become an ambassador. Yes. Chairman is here.
Oh, Kofi's away.
Oh yeah, Kofi has been helping us a lot.
No, I remember that video.
Yes. And that video
the video really looked like her, but it wasn't her.
Yes, we were in the office and she just showed. We were having a meeting. She just dropped her phone, bam, and Richie C. For a second, we were confused because, you know, it was trending everywhere. And who are you to speak? Then there were certain videos of cars. Then people are just interested not in a talent, but how they can scheme and destroy you. And that particular sex tape video was circulated, you know, by female.
Oh.
Yeah, female. Like, I don't want to use the word actress or whatever, but it was a colleague female that did that. And it took time. It had to take her to meet blogger Zion Felix to showcase her back. He said that I don't have a tattoo.
So she showed her butt to Zion Felix.
Not her butt, but I mean that portion that
where the
it
tattoo
was on
was.
YouTube. You know, she had to go down. Meanwhile, this is a female brand that goes nationwide, campuses, doing a campus tour, educating people. You know, and even people were saying, what right does she have to go to senior high schools to be educating people on how?
I remember all those days.
You know, and the hurt. It is just by the grace of God that females, I mean, artists or brands have survived in our industry. People are not being notified by their word, by their talent, but it is just about people circulating controversies, and it's not fair. You have her wed engagement ceremony, and you have another female celebrity put camera on herself and said, "What you wore is cheap. What you wear is this."
And that's
how?
She was pregnant. That was how she rushed for the wedding.
Sammy, I think with this big platform you have and with seniors here, it is high time people start seeing. See, if you put male celebrities and female celebrities, it looks like the males have about 80% chance of penetration. How many? Like the way AY Poyo would blow. Is it Tupac? Another one came, Tupac, Shatta Bando, all these brands that pop up. How many of the female talent do you see? Unless you showcase some extraordinary talent, or there's something about a sex tape that has leaked, that every schemes, propagandas, or you know, all these things has to come out. You see, on Wiyaala's issue, in law, there's a statement that says that res espa liquitor. The res espa liquitor, and it means that it means the fact speaks for itself. What are the facts? We all see how marketable she is for the Ghana brand. We all see what she stands for. I was a bit confused. That was Arnold's statement based on the fact that her manager made statement that she did not perform on the year of return stage, or it was a discussion
in fact, those statements came after.
Okay.
What Arnold and the team, what they were trying to do was that in their analysis of the female artist not getting relevance, they did not want to equate Wiyaala to the names mentioned here, because to them they think Wiyaala's brand has surpassed those here. Oh, she has gone beyond them.
Okay, if that's the intent, then
to me, yes,
probably
that was the intent.
The people were misunderstanding them. If their point is to suggest that Wiyaala has built a brand, or she's created a niche which is beyond this,
yes,
then it's cool.
That wasn't a suggestion.
Oh no, Creepy, that was it. Talk to your mic.
Replay what he said. You hear. There was two voices. One said, "Oh, even Wiyaala plows a trade outside Ghana." And the other one said something to the extent of, you need to replay it, something to the extent of, oh, we can't even count her to what we do here.
And again, that was also not negative. That was not negative.
It's not the negativity. You see,
it's like, okay, let me do this simple analysis. It's
why can't you easily say that? Oh, our artist Wiyaala is now exposed to the international scene, and she's doing so well.
Sammy.
Now you need to listen. You cannot be a king of another country unless you're a king in your own country. It is imperative we understand these things. If we want to delve into the numbers Wiyaala is having, a good percentage of them will come from Africa. The minority will be the Europeans and the foreign people, but this is where she actually makes her money. But in terms of driving numbers and driving her content, we Ghanaians, we go there. The Nigerians are also watching. She represents Africa. You see, but we see the moment we don't understand the value of what we have as an industry, and we begin to make loose statements like this, as in, oh, Wiyaala, she doesn't even represent Ghana. She does international stuff.
Is that what
No.
For me, this is what we imply.
That's how you understood it.
I would like you to replay the soundbite again.
Okay.
Because for me, it implies.
Okay, so Sticker, go to the last 2 minutes. We might not need the full tape, so go to the last 2 minutes, because that is how I also understood it.
Yeah.
Let's
listen to the soundbite.
What they meant was that for Wiyaala, when we are talking about the competition in Ghana among the female artists, she is not even to be compared to them.
Why not?
Because she's done.
Is that to say that every other female artist that we have in Ghana is local?
No, not to say she's local.
But what is it that we're saying?
But to them, what Wiyaala has achieved with her brand, they are yet to achieve. So we shouldn't compare.
How can they achieve something like that if they are continually seen as local champions and they don't have a dream, or people cannot see them as being international? You see, how we perceive people is how we see them.
Okay, Jata, at this stage, if you can get Arnold Asamabedu, if you can get him, it will help at least, so we don't talk for him. Yeah, we're going to listen to this again. But Richard Amufa, when I come, we have to wrap up too. I have Selena Boateng to talk to. She is here.
Talk about Wiyaala. I was even thinking you are going to talk about Wiyaala. You know, you talked about the fact that
Wiyaala says apart from with
I
exception
didn't
of
want to
Wiyaala.
bring that one because that one was.
And he gave him shout outs.
Yeah.
Let's be fair to ourselves. So I got confused with that shout out, because what is he talking about? Is he talking about your ability to do good music, your international appeal, or the fact that in this Ghanaian music industry in our terrain, who is actually out there? In Ghana, Wiyaala is not out there. Let's be fair.
I was about to say that Wiyaala is not even part of the Ghana music scene.
Yes. And you and I know that for some years, she and her handlers or her management team decided that, listen, we are leaving this space for you people. Our target is that international market. We will get festivals to play and all that stuff. And so I'm confused about JMJ shout outs to Wiyaala. You understand? Because you are shouting out Wiyaala, who is not even paying attention to what's transpiring in our setting. Her focus is out there. And you're also telling us that the scene within our space is down. And you are shouting out somebody who is focusing on somewhere else. See, so that the correlation is weak. It is very weak. So I'm confused. So what's he saying? Is he saying, that we have said, international appeal, actually getting there? They will say, big up, Wiyaala is number one. But in Ghana, vibrancy, and you want to indict the likes of Wendy Shea, who have actually struggled in ensuring that the female,
Okay, Stephen Krepi, I'm sure we heard it again.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, he may have had good intentions of trying to say something else, but what he said, right? The implication of what he said,
it's negative.
It's not negative, but it simply means that we can't consider Wiyaala a Ghanaian artist.
Oh, really?
Exactly. This is the implication. Or we can't consider, because if only the Ghana happened here, because she's leapfrogged and she's international, but she came from Ghana. So when we mention Ghanaian artists, homegrown products, Wiyaala is part. What we need to be looking at is, how did Wiyaala go international? And how do we replicate that model? And we should stop talking about and hiring a manager. That manager is unique. He has brought something unique, a differentiation to the product that we're already consuming, so far as women musicians are concerned. We need to learn from that and take steps to also grow the career of these so-called local champions.
All right. Thank you, Krepi. Richmond, wrap up for me.
So briefly, for me, I think I've gotten the clarity from you, because initially what I was thinking is that in the video they seem to have mentioned other names that they believe they are doing well. In fact, they mentioned Wendy Shea, mentioned this, mentioned that, and so I felt there was some kind of comparison and all of that. I've heard other people even go to, compare streams. People are saying that on YouTube her highest views is about 360 something thousand YouTube streams, and that Wendy Shea has got millions and even her subscribers is about 2,000 something. Wiyaala has about 300 or 500 subscribers. So what it means is that if she's an international act, then it should reflect in her numbers and her streams and all of that. I think, you see, yes, numbers sells brand and all of that, but people's effort to put Ghana on the map should be appreciated. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Ricky, I hope now you've done enough research, you've heard enough as well.
Krepi was on his own agenda. You get it, which I understand. The situation actually took him into a different realm. He so that's a different conversation.
And he's not spoken like this in a long while.
Yeah.
It is something he's kept in him for a longer time. Okay, today.
Brasami, it's sad now. Panditry, if I start to spark, calm me down. Catch me, say me calm me down. Because for the first time, I've put some things down. You know, punditry has become more like a trap house. Punditry is supposed to be something, or is supposed to be, you know, one of the activities of the industry where pundits are supposed to, you know, criticize, analyze. They're supposed to research. They're supposed to bring out insights. That is the role. But now, the musicians are actually making punditry something else. And it's a whole conversation that we should have, that who should qualify or who should be invited to speak on issues. Those should also we should also consider that. Now, if you're a pundit, let's be realistic. The kind of things the likes of Stone Boys, the kind of things the likes of maybe Shatawale's, other Sarkodiyas who even say about pundits and even bloggers. Ama ejumana ye style be now, even with your professional expertise, your insight about the industry. Obi Frauka say, come and be a pundit on my show. It becomes an issue, because if you speak about a musician, a talent that they don't find, you know, in their eyes positive,
if it is not tasteful to them,
tasteful, yes, how they feel about it, they'll turn around, and because they have numbers, they have fans, they will use that against you, and it is becoming a slippery space now. Maybe today it is about Wiyaala, it is about the fact that it is more female and you have a female on there, so you speak in a certain way about Arnold, but we all know Arnold's stance when it comes to the industry, how objective he is. One, if you listen to the conversation itself, you have a different understanding, and that is how artists feel. Arnold Akanasemo, with a particular mindset or with a particular understanding, you, because of your experience with industry, with media people, with presenters, you took it differently, which is allowed. Because if you're an artist and you go to a studio and you record, spend all your energy, your time, and you bring out music, and someone sits on radio and decides to analyze, crack, rip it apart, it's not about downplay. It is about assessment. That's why I say, let's understand who the person is. Do you know the kind of things that Gary Neville says or people speak about Paul Pogba? Obi Ayetia Neka is on his sweat. Monday, when he plays, people sit down and they analyze. He is lazy. He is this. Anytime he plays, the team loses, blah, blah, blah. There are analysis, there are statistics, there are insights, there are research. It is up to you to also look at, if it doesn't matter to you, move on. What having people or pundits said about Shatawale? We as pundits, if Patapaa had brought a song to us to have analyzed, Patapaa will not be where he is. It doesn't mean, how do you call it? It doesn't mean Kofas can't speak about Patapaa's song. The fact that Patapaa would have brought a song to you and you would have judged it wrongly to be a hit song, but it has, doesn't mean he doesn't have a right as an expert to say that the song is whatever. An expert opinion should be respected. You get it? That is one part of the conversation. Two, Krepi said something that you cannot be.
Are you only responding to Krepi's?
No. I'm moving on.
We have a bigger discussion.
Yes, I'm breaking it down. Okay. Krepi said something about you cannot be a king in another country until you're a king in your own. So then I ask that. We always speak about Wiyaala. What are we speaking about based on even that comment that you cannot be a king in your country, in another man's country, until you're a king in your own country? What are we speaking about when we talk about Wiyaala? Is it about her talent, her performances, or it is about the whole brand in total, as in commercial-wise, influence, achievements, successes? Is that what we are talking about? Let's be careful. That is what I want to understand, that when we speak about Wiyaala being international or Wiyaala doing this and that and Wiyaala not being a part of it, what do we want? Are we speaking about Wiyaala as a talent, that she's a good singer, that she's original? Because Wiyaala does more or less like traditional. She's more about the traditions of Africa or traditions of Ghana. She's more like a band artist. She's not that commercial artist. So when we are speaking of commerce, as in we are comparing the likes of the Wendy Shays, Ebony, Raquels and things to Wiyaala, what are we trying to do? Let's get that clear, because to be honest, let's not use international, the word international, to discredit the works, the investment of the local ones. Those who actually spend a lot of money. You spend a lot of money on Raquel down here. You go for radio interviews, you pay for them, you go on shows, you're actually enhancing the local industry. Why do we think that Wiyaala is better than those who are here enhancing and putting Ghanaian music on the map? It is these same local talents that have put Afro beats now. It is the likes of the R2Bs, the Sarkodie's, the Nigerians, and the rest who have actually put Afro beats out there where it is there. So why do we want to always use international, the word international?
That she is better.
Yes, to make it look like she should not be compared to others. Now let's look at even the international. Well, let's look at when we say Wiyaala is going international. What does it mean? That she's playing festivals. Have we sat down?
It is part of it.
No, have we sat down to also rate or position the level of festival she's playing into considerations? Because mind you, and you can ask anybody, you can ask a Sarkodie, the number of festivals that Sarkodie can play if he wants to, it will be out of this world. I'm telling you on record, the number of festivals Shatawale can play, the number of festivals Raquel can play. Let me land.
Wiyaala.
I never utter a word.
No, it's your turn still.
Yes, I never utter a word. You see, there are certain festivals. Last 2 years, Music in Africa came to Ghana, and they did an event, a project. As part of the project, there were festivals. Some of the festivals were actually, done at Alliance Française. Alliance Française was one of the festivals. There was also another at the Gold Coast. They were all festivals. I'm telling you for a fact. These are some of the festivals that Wiyaala plays. Are you trying to tell me that similar festivals, One Love the Kobolo and Mensa also play? Recently, there was a conversation with One Love the Kobolo. He said COVID actually has halted a lot of. He has festivals. They are playing some festivals in the prisons. The French government will actually activate. It's on record. He said they are playing some of the festivals in the prisons. Are you trying to tell me that because One Love the Kobolo has played festivals all across in Sweden, Denmark, he is a bigger artist or he's a better artist or he's more valuable than our own Shatawale? Is that the argument? That's why I'm saying that let's get the argument right when we speak about Wiyaala. What is it about? Are we rating Wiyaala above everybody else because she agrees, her manager finds it very important for her that, okay, because of the kind of songs I do, which is not mainstream, which is not commercial. I don't talk about Odor or Booty and all of those things, which is not commercial. I am using this talent to reach the festival market. So his sole, focus is to tap into festivals. There are festivals which are called showcase festivals. Those ones are where talents actually come to also showcase and exhibit their talent, their brand. Other festival managers are at the showcase festivals, and when they see that, okay, this person is good, this person is good, this person is good, they also pick them up and put them on other festivals. And that is how the festival culture runs. Why are we not sitting down to ask about the festival culture with Wiyaala and then equate it to those here? Because let's see, has she played on Coachella? Has she played on and
that's what the manager was saying, that when we even had some international event here in Ghana, she was not called. And the manager is not happy about that.
Why? It's a commercial event.
He thinks it was a clear sabotage.
Why, look at this.
That is what he thinks.
Were you expecting, let's say, if we had to pick one artist to represent Ghana at Afro Nation, were we expecting Wendy and Ifya to drop for Wiyaala? When you have clearly said that your focus in her video said you are not interested in sire controversies in India, so your focus is international. Go and organize your international shows and play them. Are you trying to tell me that? Are you trying? Good. So go into choir. So don't know. I'm coming. Let me make it clear. Are you trying to say that even in her own region, in the north, we should discredit what Fancy Gadam has been able to fill a whole stadium? Are we trying to discredit that because Wiyaala sits in Sweden and plays to some whatever people, all in the name of festivals? Let's look at it. The festivals that she played for or that she plays for, what is her position? Is she actually hired as a headliner, as a supporting artist, or as others? Let's look at it. I have a record of, she posted 2019 her tours that she was supposed to go. Massa, I researched on all those tours. I researched on every single one of the tours.
She was there many more.
The tours are not, you see, they are festivals.
So are you saying she was part of the many more?
Yes, they are tours. You see, they are tours. They are festivals, and they are categories of festivals.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Don't throw dust in the people.
No. Don't speak. Let me ask you something.
Speaking facts.
No,
you're expressing your opinion.
Let me see.
First of all,
Kofi, let him learn.
Do you know?
My time.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know there are levels of festivals?
Yes.
Can you compare the festivals that Wiyaala plays to the likes of the Coachellas and the rest, which Burna Boy was put on?
Yes, I can.
Then you are a joke. Then you are a joke. You get it?
Hold it.
Let's not get it wrong. You see, if I'm saying that if we want to speak about Wiyaala, let's speak about.
Hold it.
Chairman, you see, and that is the point. Are we trying to say, like I'm saying, if we are speaking about Wiyaala and Wiyaala being international because of festivals, let's sit down and speak about it well. You get it? Let's know the rates that are involved, because if festivals, when you want to rate a festival, some of the things, quick one, things you look at when you want to rate festivals, and go online or research or speak to festival managers. They will tell you ratings of festival. They look at one, the size of the festival, that is the capacity. They look at that. They look at sponsors on the festival. They look at broadcasting deals, broadcasting rights.
Which media outlet will be
exactly
it, yeah.
They look at the rate and ticket prices of the festival. I have seen the festivals on Wiyaala's wall. It's either free or $5 to $7. I have seen all of them. That's what I'm saying. That if we are having a conversation and trying to pull down these local ones, the likes of the Raquel, the likes of Easy, the likes of Wendy Shea, let's have a proper conversation. If you say a king cannot be whatever in another man's country until there, is she a king here? Is she bigger than Wendy Shea here? Has she ever been bigger than anybody in this country? If you decide that you go and invest outside and we are having a conversation and we say these people are bigger than you, what is your problem? We should really be careful and stop this over. Are we going to say One Love the Kobola because he's played more festivals than Shatawale? He's a bigger artist than Shatawale. What are we talking about?
Your mic is still on. Kobiche. Yes, wrap up for me. Yes.
No, the lines will be too much.
No, he's not speaking.
The fake will be too much.
He said pass for me. All right, Mr. Ban.
And after Creppy and Ricky's submission, we just shot to number 3 on Twitter.
That's Ejan no dem papa.
Okay.
Mr. Ban, conversation and question perception. Now, the Arnold kind, that is his perception. Into no, he said the kind, one kind of with bad motive. Now the fact say, no, can be say when the Shea any Adina, Omunina, I mean they're all doing fabulous. But Oshe Wiyaala should be part of the conversation because or not there you can't or born somebody in crime or I think we're and he said it with a good intent. But I want to focus on the Wiyaala kind of. I mean Crepini Ricky Makanina but the males are always dominating. As in females. Females na now omutumi ebano probably an agenda set and say let's push this female or on management team. In Ghana, what can we do collectively as an industry, as bloggers, as media people, as presenters? Then a bit me say female be bar knowing some of the things they go through before the limelight, protectively we can protect them and bring them out. But if you don't have that mindset, that agenda, say, okay, we are pushing this female artists, always will struggle. So for me, I want to take from that angle. Okay, say anyone so you know who answer should become part of our discussion. Anyone say, or did you be controversial? That is my direction.
And again, she said she doesn't have to be an artist of the year kind of talent.
Exactly. because I mean, it took me. People were just DMing me. Kobe, you have to interview Wiyaala. You have to. And most and I say, Obia. Hardly will we hear people even trying to connect with her. And when I met her, the kind of things that you were saying, someone came in and Michelle one manager, almost can't even actually me, because it seems that the media is not even following the activities.
Who's supposed to do that?
You understand?
What happens to PR?
Exactly. You understand? So if so on if you want to be part of the discussion, you need to get some PR team to also talk about you.
Media,
you understand?
Now festivals, do they report about them? I've been online and searched. How many of them have you said new Ghanaian?
Ricky. Yes.
So let's have an agenda to push some of these people. Now Wiyaala, and that's what Ricky is saying. Or no Wiyaala, no. If you want to be part of discussion, even Abochen Krana Oka said, you are looking at international. No? I mean, then if you go online, do you get people talking about Wiyaala? Do you get some media people online talking about it? That should be the conversation. What I say. So for me, I am looking at the positive direction. If Ricky says Wiyaala crew PR team Krana, she should be part of discussion. We should put some of this
but
talent.
See, she should be part of the discussion. No one forces you to be part of the discussion. No. You create the discussion. I always say that when someone argues with me that Sammy, you people enjoy talking about this particular artist, I ask myself, what is the artist you want us to talk about doing?
Also doing.
Yes, it is not. We are not saying create something negative. No, do something. You are in your room and you want me to talk about you on radio for doing what?
But Mr. Ma, you also agree with me, say a lot of people also doing some positive stuff there that the media is also not talking about it.
Do it and let us see.
They do it.
No.
Because Wiyaala call stage or call a festival, I mean, how do you see bloggers posting from her content? I mean, from you understand?
I can't interview. 1 minute. I can't interview.
First of all, I want to make it emphatically clear that not all shows Wiyaala has played abroad are festivals. I want to put that on record. He said that as a fact. That's false. It is not a fact. It is not a fact.
I said most of the shows she plays at festivals.
Yes. 2. Not all festivals are free. Festivals are commercial activities. Please. And in any case, even when you say festivals,
he also did not say all the festivals.
Even when you say festivals, there are a lot of award schemes, concerts that are festivals. Ghana meets Nigeria, all these are festivals. What else could there be? What else could there be to perform on? All these concerts in Coachella is what else is it? They are festivals. They are music festivals. They are music concerts. They are festivals. So I don't know what his argument or what the research. Let me finish. Yes, we can go into it. Yes. First of all, let me forget event, please. This is public. As a festival, this is public knowledge.
Afro National. Do you know what a festival is?
Brasami, there's an university in the UK. SOAS. They had a concert last year or 2, and Wiyaala performed. There were top class UK-based media, online sites, news sites,
broadcasting it.
Yes, writing about Wiyaala, Ghanaian sensation Wiyaala. This brute, they even have a channel on Snapchat, wrote about Wiyaala, did a micro documentary on Wiyaala. That is not a Ghanaian entity. That is an internationally acclaimed broadcast entity. They did a micro documentary on Wiyaala. They brought an entire crew from Germany to Sisala to film Wiyaala. What are you talking about?
And I think we've seen that on.
What are you talking about? Yeah. And let me go on. When you sit here and say that if Sarkozy wanted to play, me to me and not the crop.
Respect that.
And second. So I say if they could. Why would anybody? That it is your mind. First to the stage, and you formula.
Chairman.
Don't we see them go perform at small event, Ghana-based event over abroad,
even in clubs,
even in nightclubs? What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Doesn't your Sarkozy perform in nightclubs? Ghana-owned nightclubs abroad.
Exactly.
Doesn't Sarkozy perform small event, wedding parties, etc.?
Not in recent time, but
even let me tell you, in any case, when we say an artist is big, on what grounds do we make that determination?
Achievement, influence, success.
Yes. So wait.
Yes, impact, we know that.
So now we can say that Wiyaala is big on international.
How?
She has probably more international performances. She has probably more international.
When you say the international, rate it well for me. International,
Okay. All right. Gentlemen.